taking the fair out of fairies. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I'm playing with Oura the Imitator. This flashy fairy lets you play off the top of your deck, but only if it's an instant or a fairy that happens to be on top. In fact, you can't even see the top of your deck if that's not what is on top. That is what makes this a digital-only card, though this deck is very similar to something like Giada, though instead of just playing flash creatures, you're playing fairies, which Oura then gives flash. This deck is running a suite of sweet fairies. Fairies that go wide, fairies that deal damage, fairies that make your opponents discard, bounce their permanents, and draw you cards. In this deck, we are definitely doing Dimir tempo, and it is up to you as the builder how much Dimir good stuff and tempo you want to put in versus the fairies themselves. Because I really want to showcase Lorwyn and Lorwyn Eclipsed, I'm running tons and tons of fairies. Whether they're old classics or maybe some new goodies like these, and ones that really benefit from getting flash, we have a lot of fairies in the deck. And I also have a bunch of good counter spells and kill spells to play off the top or from our hand in order to keep our opponents in check while we fly in the air to deal some lethal damage. This deck is definitely one of the things that if you can get a good start, you can stay ahead, protecting yourself and taking out your opponent's threats, or you can just keep countering spells and wait until you get a little bit of stabilization, because Oura is easily castable on your opponent's turn. I think the fact that Oura has flash makes her even better. So let's take her into the queue and start Oura farming from our opponents. Maralen Fae Ascendant. Sure see a bunch of these in the queue. We will both be playing fairies. Their commander is a fairy. They are the true Queen of the Fae. But I am the Imitator. I'm Una's Imitator. Perfect to go up against Maralen. Okay, I got some silly removal. I can prevent counter spells, and then I have fairies. Whoops. Hello there, tiny elf. No screaming, please. Thank you. It's still an elf, it's just a toy. Lanor Loam Speaker, yep, that's another elf. Yeah, I think that the better Maralen decks are focused on the elf ball aspect. I think it makes them better, more consistent decks since they're so good at going wide. They can get enough mana to play Maralen and then play more elves. Up to 3 mana now. Yeah, because elves is one of the best supported creature types. Ooh, like they could straight up just minus grab that Lanor Loam Speaker back. Or would you rather have Deathrite Shaman? Nah, they're going for Loam Speaker. This can tap for mana. Fairy. I'm going to go for Oura. Imagine they'll play Maralen this turn. They have enough mana even without playing a land. They tap. They untap.
Ready for round 2.
We'll see what they get off the top of my deck. It's... oh, Memory Lapse. That's fine. I Cavern of Souls. Whee! Yeah, they're still casting it. It just doesn't do anything. I do not have double black for Fel the Profane. Well, that's tricksy. Cryptic Command. Because I do want to kill Tyvar. So I am going to bounce and draw. Look, you'll get your enter the battlefield again. Tyvar is terrifying with elves because he can allow you to go from like 2 mana to 10 mana in a single turn. Being able to tap your elves for mana right away is scary. luck. And unless they got a land, Maralen's not coming down again. Finding the old gauze, you can either free your elf or kill Oura. They're gonna kill Oura. Ew. I feel like playing Oura again. I can wait a turn. I will actually play this Mocking Sprite. It doesn't have flash unless I have this out. Because that way I can hold up the tail's end or free the Fae. Oura never shows up in the story. Maralen does. Okay, a cool orb. But she's in like the story, like, Planeswalker guide. Like the overarching story article. Ooh, Leaf Crown Visionary. Great elf card draw. Buffs all your elves, too. Okay. I will mill 4 cards and put an instant sorcery or fairy into my hand. All right, we got Unwelcome Sprite and Glamour Might. Being able to tap their mana dorks and upkeep's kind of nice. The Surveil's great for manipulating the top of the deck with Oura. Archmage's Charm. I am able to steal an elf. A Brazen Borrower? Hold up. I'm going to counter this in part because that way they also can't play the fairy side. Okay, Leaf Crown Visionary. Gonna get them some more cards. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. So something weird about how Maralen is includes the fact that you can actually you can get rid of her ability by killing her in response to her enter the battlefield. They're freeing it! Okay, you have drawn way too many cards. Stop that! A little late, yeah, I know. Sorry, Oura. Don't need you right now. Let's go, Glamours. I guess I could have played Picklock Prankster instead of holding up the Might. Yeah, I think that Maralen, I think Maralen could have been, like, changed in a bunch of different ways to make her a little stronger, but still fair. The number one way I would have changed her is that she should be able to play the lands she steals. It feels right to me. Ooh, Priest of Titania. That's a lot of mana. That's like, this is like one of those, this is why we get rid of the Tyvars. Animate in a land. Just the land swinging in. I'll take it. Yeah, I feel like the mana leak's honestly not gonna do much. Since they have a Priest of Titania. So I'm going to flash out Oura. This will draw me a card. Gonna look for a different piece of removal. That's a Vendilion Click. I can still cast this, and it will reduce what they get. Like, they'll be able to cast my Vendilion Click, which... Sure, I guess. change what's on top. Oh, Remand. A much less useful card. All right, so Remand and a land. So you can Remand the spells that I'm not casting this turn for free. Oh, Death of Spam! Thank you for this 61-month resub. And thank you for subscribing at tier 3. Thank you, thank you. Got a Nagati on top. That's cool. Again, the island swinging in. Oh, listen to some island jams. Just chilling, vibing, hanging. Yeah, all these taxing counter spells, great for tempo. A little less good when your opponent has this. Thankfully, I have a great card draw engine up. Oh, maybe they want to cast Maralen again. I'm going to check out what's in their hand. Oh. No, you can keep that, actually. Who wants to chump block? Yeah, I can beat a pick lock. And then I'll flash out Rankle. Pay 1 life. I will drop the Miscalculation. Or maybe let's drop the Mana Leak instead, because that can be cycled. There goes the Picklock Prankster. Yeah, I do want to cast it again. Ooh, that'll get the Mobira. And Mobira will trigger Maralen again. Let's go, Gamers. Let's see. I'll tap down Maralen. Sky Shroud probably want to take a nap at that sprite, or try to. Fire training with the click. I just leave the Glenellender's answer up. I think they have lethal here. I think I counted right. Especially with the Aura gaining me a teeny tiny bit of life. Looks like they're just going for this. It's dirt. Just the forest? Maralen as well, okay. Land more visionary. I mean, if there's a visionary on the line, I'll start grifting and gifting. Anybody else want to come in? Chomping Changeling? Priest of Titania? Land of War Elves? Well, hot dog. Oh, wait. They said no to Priest of Titania coming in. Okay, that's fine. What's this? Oh, land. Oh, a messenger. I wonder if they have, like, Cyclonic Rift. Oh, they discarded a card. That's funny. Yeah, more cards, more life. Okay, let's kill Llanowar Elf. 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that's good. And I think I might be able to turn around and kill them. That'd be nice. Oh, play land. Yeah, they had Alpha Striked. And now we swing in and finish them off. The imposter wins again. Glarb, Calamities, Augur. I only really have one land here, but I do have some nice castable spells. I'm still going to keep this since I'm going first. And I'll probably end up bolting this in to just ensure that I get my mana and this can't be discarded, since Glarb has access to a lot of colors of things that can, well, interact with your hand. Counter spells, discard spells, and of course some ramp and big things off of green. Yeah, I'm running on very little sleep because they were doing snow removal outside, as in like scooping up the old snow and putting it into dump trucks from midnight until 4:30 in the morning, and that is very loud. It is very hard to sleep through. So I didn't sleep through it. And then I had to wake up by 7 because they're testing the fire alarms in my building. And they needed us to let people into the building and come into our units and check all of our fire detection stuffs. So I got, like, at most, maybe 2.5 hours of sleep. That's fine. That's good. Well, what do you mean, mystical tutor? What are you tutoring for? You nasty? Toxic deluge? For what, this? Swinging in, causing trouble. Playing this as a land. Would you like to deluge for just these two little guys? No, they're searching for his Canta. Gives them some nice surveils. Before we pass to my turn, I'm going to bounce that back into their hand. True troublemaker behavior. Ooh. Could use a land. Don't have a land. That's fine, too. At least now I can play the Bitter Bloom Bearer, Uncounterable, or any of these other things. I like keeping the, like, take it back. Wait. You get this out of here. Very brazen. You want to play Glarb yet? No? Okay. Do you want to crack your fetch land? Take It Back is especially funny against Toxic Deluge because they have to pay life as part of it. I feel like stifling their fetch. If I stifle their fetch, then I'm not able to mess with the Toxic Deluge. Generous gift, take it back. Yeah. Yes, Aura only lets you see the top card of your deck if it is a fairy or an instant. That is what makes it digital only. If you were to play this in paper, you would just say you can look at the top card of your deck at any time. All right, I have a true counter spell. Or I could just tax this. So I'm gonna bounce this on the stack, sacrificing this fairy token. This is also uncounterable because it's a fairy, which is nice. Yeah, make it cost 5 mana. They'd have to pay the life again. And I think I might even have lethal in the air. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, off by 1, but they have a fetch land. Ren and 6, able to recur lands from the graveyard, and also snipe my fairies straight from the sky by dealing 1 damage at a time. I have a counter spell, a bounce spell, I've got Cavern of Souls to help me cast the fairies. This is all right, and I do go first, which is nice. Do I think that this works better as just kind of oops all counter spells and removal? Yeah, I think that if you build this more around instants and sorceries than you do fairies, it will do better in the like 1v1 nature of the queue. It's essentially just like Dimir card advantage, which at instant speed, that's quite good. Magmatic Insight. Ooh, they're filtering their hand, putting lands in the graveyard so they can grab them right back. But I'd rather play, like, with fairies, because then I can actually play, like, the new fairy spells. Okay, so there's a Delighted Halfling. That's the sort of thing that would cause some troubles for me, so I will Memory Lapse it, put it back on top of their deck. They have a fetch land, so makes it a little harder to use. Yeah, like, you could swap out a fairy with something like Psychic Frog, which is better than many of the fairies. You won't be able to play it with Oura, so it's less thematic, but it's a better card. The classic struggle of thematic versus good stuff. Ooh, even more stuff in the graveyard. Fairy. I'm just playing this Voracious Tome Skinner. I'd be able to play this at instant speed if I had Oura out. But this way I'll be able to use it to card draw. Yay, card draw. This is an all-star card in this deck. Oh, Jarsoul! What are you grabbing? Faithless Looting, Magmatic Insight? And then what 2-drop can you get? I guess Finale counts, but it would be for X equals 0. Intensity up. Finale for X equals 0. You got an Ornithopter in there? Probably not. Probably not. Archmage's Charm. If they do end up, I don't know, getting like a Hobbit or something out, I can grab it. Am I down with Ren and 6 just resolving? I think I'm down with it resolving. None of these have 1 toughness. And I should be able to kill it with combat, depending on what removal they have in hand. Okay, grabbing Dust Bowl. Birds of Paradise! Here comes Oura. I could Glamour Gift or whatever doesn't get blocked, or I could just steal this. I want to play the fairies. So I'm going to swing both of these at Ren and 6. Oh, but I really want to steal. Nope, I'm stealing. My desire to do crime. Definitely hard to fight. I know what I'm about. Why hold Counterspell when can protect bird with glamours? Ooh, Vibrance. They are not evoking it. They're casting it for full. So they're going to get to tutor for any land, gain 2 life, and they're dealing 3 damage to... Is that Voracious Tome Skinner? Yeah. You can take the crime out of the deck, but not out of the Amy. Yeah. I know what I'm here for. They didn't bolt the bird. I know. Crazy. Hey, Jeremy Stilson and also Listrodon. Thank you both for the subs. Thank you for subscribing. Was this miscalculation? Oh, one of them little counter spells. want a land here. So I'm going to play Talion's Messenger first. That is not a land. I will drop against them Talion. I already know what they have. Like, they're going for Valakut stuff. And I can't really interrupt Valakut. Can't discard Valakut either. Western Druid and Oracle. I'll drop the Oracle, though. You like the art on Sublime Epiphany? It's really cool. Mossborn Hydra. I'm gonna make you pay 2. Draw me a card. What do I think about the new exponential card draw spell they had revealed? Oh, from the Secrets of Strixhaven. It's funny. It's big mana. But there's already a lot of, like, big mana spells like that. Are you gonna bring out your Valakut? Current mountain count is 4. I have 9 life left. Oh, that's crazy. A cut downable Mossborn Hydra? Alright, I think I'll drop the Throne Guard. Counter on Aura, so I'm gaining more life. Yeah, it's sorcery speed, which I think hurts it a lot. Do they have a 3-drop in their graveyard? Well, now they do. This lets me stifle and bounce. And I should have lethal in the air next turn. Oh, they're just exiling cards. I'll actually counter that. Bounce, copy, draw. Okay, so counter that. Bounce this. Copy. Let's go Glamours and me draw a card. Nice. Thanks. Vivi generates mana, taps for it because this is the digitally altered version, and will be pinging us with every spell cast. This hand is a little slow, but with the Dismember, I have a way to make Vivi a little bit less oppressive. I will actually use this just to make sure I have double blue. Hi. Well, they do blue-red stuff. They're probably also going to be running a ton of tempo cards, but a bit more on the burn and cantrip side than I am. Silver Bluff Bridge. And an island. I don't have any, like, true counter spells in hand. I'm actually going to throw that in Patchwork Banner. I have a spell bounce. Take it back. Fairy. They opt. I wonder why they're running an artifact land. I wonder if this is like an artifacts Vivi. Especially because this Vivi is easy to go infinite with Paradox Engine. Usually you don't play Vivi if you're not able to, like, make use of it right away. Yep, there's Oracle the Alpha instead. I'm gonna save the Dismember since Rankle. I should be able to, like, trade with this. Yeah, let's do that. I would like to pay 1 life. We will each sacrifice our creatures. You can also use Staff of Domination. Yup, anything that's tapping for, is it like 4 mana is neutral and 5 is infinite with Staff of Domination? Rankle's just like perpetually growing, except he's not because he's not in play. Ooh, Archmage's Charm. Stealing. Or just counter spells. I'll be able to double spell next turn. The Cold Steel Hearts. And now it's time to start just playing at instant speed. I got my Oura. I got my Charm. And I have whatever's on top of my deck. I don't even know. Vivi's not stronger in Brawl. It's just different. It is harder to, like, win on the turn that it's cast. It's especially harder to get it to go off without, like, already having mana for, say, an extra turn. Because the other one, you'd be able to, like, get enough mana from the Vivi for the extra turn on the turn it came out. They just let Vivi die. Very cool. You need, like, haste enablers, which there are a bunch. Okay, they rejected my commander. Bring it right back. I'm going to play the Spell Scorn Coven. Make them discard. Then I'm going to Ego Drain to make them discard. Yeah, potential combo, I think, is higher, but it takes more work. So now all they have is Glorious Gale, which... Oh no, it can counter my commander. Let's pay some life and tear this guy apart. Boop, boop. Aura's got lifelink, it's fine. Make them use the mana or hold the mana on their turn. Take advantage of that flash. Yeah, you can't play Vivi and hold this. Okay, Chromatic Lantern. I'll play Oura. We already know she's getting countered. But I'll just play her again next turn. Possibly even at sorcery speed. It's one of those things where, like, they potentially could draw a burn spell instead. But based on the cards I've seen from them, they're definitely a bit more attack the stack. If they're running reject, they want to attack the stack. There's Vivi, and I have Halo Forager to recast from Graveyard. And I normally can't flash this out, but with Oura, this becomes a Snapcaster. Alright, so I put a stop on their upkeep because I'm going to use the Halo Forager. Pay 1. No, I don't want to opt. I want to Ego Drain. What do you got? Faithless Looting. Okay. You can still cast it from the graveyard for Vivi. They're like, what was that? Don't worry about it. I gave a flash. Yeah, other things I had choices of getting would be like recasting a counter spell there. I guess I could have gone for card draw. From my own graveyard, this is good card draw too. Ooh, and a dismiss. Let's gain some life and hold 2 counter spells with them already down to 3. Good old fairy tempo. Consider nothing. You ain't considering a single dang thing. Ooh, Byra. And good Byra. Qoneus, Horizon Splicer. This is Spot from the Spider-Man set. I do not like that hand. It's not quite tempo-y enough to go against Orzhov Blink. They have really good removal built into their commander. And the downside / upside of this card is not present when it's your commander. You do not put them on the bottom of your library. You put them in the command zone, which means the cards stay exiled forever. It makes this an incredibly good commander because, sure, you're not going to be able to use it as additional removal, but you are going to be able to use it as extra graveyard hate, which, like, yeah, okay, sure, that's good. Don't want to hit this island. I already have double black ready. And I will surveil. Flare of Denial. Not the counterspell I want. For the Drowned Catacomb. Hoping to flash out this Bitterbloom Bearer if I don't need to cast the Memory Lapse. Oh, Restoration of Iganjo. I'll let that happen. This will get them up plains, bring something back from the graveyard, like this Marsh Flats, and then flip over and turn into a spirit-making critter. Nice. Oh, DeGoat, thank you for the 5-month resub. So you discarded a land to put the land into play, Orzhov ramp. And you do need to ramp into Qoneus since, 5 mana. Or at least it helps to ramp. Alright, they pass the turn over to me. They could have other, just like instant speed removal. Play Oura. I know there's not an instant on top of my deck. Yeah, Ego Drain. What you got? Swanathan! Okay. That would cause me to discard again. Unless I rankle here, because I want to save Memory Lapse, but, like, they'll be able to play this anyway. Let it resolve. I think hitting this is more important to me. Blink spell in hand. I'm gonna drop the Nightmare Sower. It's just kind of pricey. Even though it's really cool removal. Oh, somebody is asking, is this the Edge of Eternity symbol? Yes, or like it is like the same sort of thing. This is a character from Edge. But, universes within. Got my Glenalendra's Answer. Picklock Prankster on the top. Just keep chilling here. You think you should have stripes instead of spots? That would be cute. I feel like I could also just use Free the Fae here instead of Glenalendra's Answer. Oh, I can't cast the instant side? Oh, I didn't realize that. My bad. I thought I'd be able to cast Free the Fae. Okay, so they're exiling my Bitterbloom Bearer. In response, I will sacrifice it. And discard this. Yes, I will pay. The instant's not a fairy. But I can cast instants off the top of my deck. Yeah, I'll go for those. Alright, we got Glenalendra's Guardian. And we sit here and we wait. If they cast a non-creature spell, I will flash this in and counter it. Whee! Ooh, Vona! Who'd you destroy? Oura? Yeah, probably. This actually already has flash. Move my commander to the command zone. I guess I could have flashed Oura out again. Save it. It's a bug? It's a creature. You're a bug. Use these 2 1/1s. Everything is bug. Got a reanimation spell. Maybe. Grave expectations. Oh, they're heisting. Okay. I could also, like, counter the heist. But then they get another card in hand. You thought everything could be a crab? Bugs. I mean, the fairies are actually very buggish. This is an Eldraine fairy. And there's also, by the way, there's Eldraine fairies that are, like, the little blue guys. And then there's, like, the high fae, which are just, like, big elf dudes. You're 6, so everything is bug. Everything is bug. Oh, a cryptic command. Three steps ahead, looking to clone that. I'll counter that. You'll get to draw a different card. We got Sink into Stupor on top. I can start swinging in the air. Thank you, Epsilon, for the resub. You get, like, Rankle-type fairies, you get Abira-type fairies, and then you get, like, the little blue guy-type fairies. Ooh, Opposition Agent. They're going for Vona again. Or if they'll cast it pre-combat. Ooh, nope. Skyclave Apparition instead. I will still hit that. I will counter target spell and... kind of want to bounce Picklock Prankster into my hand. I'll just draw a card. Counter draw. I guess before it resolves, I could fire off the Sink into Stupor. But, like, there's nothing I really want to hit. Pass to attackers. Oh my gosh, I can finally kill this. We could double block. Pay to life, kill the thing. I'm just kind of assuming they can't also play Vona. It's like a Dark Ritual, because I think they already had the land this turn. Unless they miscounted. Ooh, All-Faith Stalker. Let's them warp this. Warp. It'll come back later. Swoop. It is a blink spell. It's a cool blink. Help my Oura. Yep, I gotta take this back because otherwise it's gone forever. Unless, of course, you bounce him. But he's... actually, if you bounce him, he doesn't return the card, so he has to die. How much mana do I have? Not enough for both. Down to 3. Devona's coming down. They can destroy the Glenolendra Guardian. You could even make a copy of it. My turn. Okay, Fairy Mastermind. It's a thing that can block. I will want to flash that in. I will play... Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Gotta swing in, gain some life. Whee! Don't mind me. Just tapping critters so I don't take too much damage. Ooh, young necromancer. Let's see. They can reanimate any of those. Boop. And die. I already know I don't have a way to win here. Even a mass bounce would just let them get those ETBs again. GG. Maralen Fae Ascendant, like my deck, is running fairies, but it's also running elves. Helps them ramp and will help them steal from my deck. I have some counter spells. I have a fairy here to help me mess with the top of my deck. That all seems good enough. But they'll be ramping with their elves, so it's going to be hard for me to keep up. I may be able to counter Maralen herself, but the elves will be ballin'. Oh, or they could start with a duress. Of these cards, I would probably see them hitting either Unwelcome Strike or maybe Flare of Denial. Yeah, they're going for the free counter spell. It's the counter spell that I'm able to sacrifice a creature for, which if my creatures are highly available, that makes them a lot easier. I guess some Maralen decks aren't as focused on the elves, but you need to have like a glut of creatures. Another discard? Okay. Hater behavior? I mean, like, I can get away with playing hater cards. As long as they're instants or fairies. Oh, that is a fun one. I'll take it. Whee! This helps me set up the top of my deck for Oura. Let me swing for 2. Maralen is the actual current queen of the Fae, whereas Aura is just, Aura farming. The Imitator. Imitating Una. Yes, I would like to surveil. I can use this to just bounce their guy. I'll drop the Picklock Prankster. I don't have enough lands to play it first. I feel like I could just cast this now. I don't really need the Surveil. In this way, because we've seen that they have interactive spells, they won't be able to counter it coming down. And I get a little funky 4/2. Some good damage in play. Ooh, they bolted that in. You going for Maralen? Okay, no Beast Whisper, and then you have a 1-drop creature. Most of them have like a 1-drop green creature. No, but they totally have something. with the ability on the stack. Oh, it was Dismember. Do I care? Yes, because I think it's lethal. Little bit of evasion, and our fairies beat their lack of elves. Grub, storied matriarch. Brings back goblins from the grave, and then clones your goblins by feeding them a very, very tasty soup. I'm gonna mulligan here. Wow, these are sure lands, technically. I guess I'll keep it since it gives me a way to remove and slow down their goblins. But goblins are super aggressive. They're gonna play a lot of them. They're gonna buff each other up. And if they die, Grub doesn't care. Grub brings them back. Grub don't care. No Grub. I built a Grublins deck. I made it a mostly mono red goblins deck because I feel like the higher density you have of goblins, the better they are. Goblin has dealt goblin damage. I feel like the 2 life gain is gonna make a difference in this game. Goblin War Chief! It comes out. I kill it. Good goblinis. And I'll have to, you know, deal with Grub so she doesn't bring that back. I don't currently have a fairy. I'll just chill on these. Probably going for Oura if they don't play Grub. Ooh, wait, 4 mana? Broadside Bombardiers. We'll slow that down a little. Please don't be throwing goblins at me. Goblins hurt. And put that into the graveyard. Sees them thinks. Okay. Siege Gang, War Boss, Bombardiers. Yeah, Bombardiers is absolutely the scariest of those. I'm still holding the tail's end for Grub. Ooh, Gamble. So Gamble's very cute in Grub because if you put a goblin in the graveyard, you can still bring it back. Yeah, they're trying to teach us to respect the goblins. It's very hard to deal with the onslaught of goblins in a deck like this because I only have like 1 mass piece of removal because our whole thing is like we're just building up a little bit of value over time. I wonder what they're tutoring for. Also, that sure is Painland. Mount Doom's cute, though. Alright, they dropped Siege Gang Commander. And whatever they tutored for, they did keep in hand. Hexing Squelcher! Yep, that's very appropriate against me. I can still Tails End the Grub ability. Come here. Come here. Come here. That is incorrect. Like, I got ways to deal with this. It's just gonna cost me some life. Ow. And blood. Ow. Okay, that leaves me the 2 mana. That was a very nice way to deal with the Squelcher. I only have one of these Nullify ability cards in a deck because it's not a fairy, and it's not an instant. And one of the things that I actually think is strange about fairies is they don't have These, like, spells that just straight up remove abilities. There's merfolk that do that, but not fairies. And I feel like fairies taking away people's powers would work. I'm able to bounce things on the stack with the throne guard. Sling gang, Lieutenant. Things like that. I'm thinking like, oh, I actually could be bargaining that. Since I don't have any other counter spells in hand. And this is any... Yeah, you also gain life off them. It's any goblin. Oh, you're wishing me a good night of sleep tonight? Thank you. I would also love to have a good night of sleep. So Sling Gang comes with a couple little guys. They'll be able to sacrifice, say, the Hexing Squelcher, so they can bring it back later. Also just drain me for life. Would fairies transform people into things? Yeah, it's a prank for sure. That's like 100% a fairy prank. They're considering, I think, if they want to sacrifice this. I already know what they can and can't cast this turn, so I'm going to bring out Oura. Ooh, Spellscorn Coven. I will be putting a stop on their upkeep. Got a nice clock here. Okay, they draw. I'll play the Spellscorn Coven. Normally not able to be played at instant speed, but thanks to Oura I can. And they'll have to discard whatever they just drew unless it's an instant. Which, it's probably a land or a goblin. Oh, Springleaf Drum. Sure, that works. There's an Eldraine prank that has fairies transforming things. Oh, Asinine Antics. Just curse everyone. Everyone's a 1/1. Here comes the Grublins. Grub grabs a goblin from the graveyard. Oh, so many G's. But I have lethal in the air until they sacrifice some goblins. So that will gain them some life. Thankfully, they cannot play Bombardiers here. Do I have a way to get any additional damage? No, I don't. So I'm going to swing for 8. They'll have to sacrifice at least one goblin here. Help! They're goblining! Doot doot doot. Very good. See if they transform Grub. Grub has an on-attack ability. And so does Bombardiers. I'm going to play this Glamourmite. And I'll tap Grub so she can't attack. I'm going to throw this back into their hand so this can't attack. Hey. Block the Sling Gang. And win the game. We'll swing in with all our fairies. Mount Doom is just like, can I do the thing? They're using Mount Doom to kill themselves. Great way to go. GG. The Reaper King No More. Just got a bunch of really great support cards from the Lorwyn set and Lorwyn Alchemy. I have a turn 1 fairy. And a turn 2 fairy. And potentially a turn 3 and 4 fairy. It's all fairies in this hand, that's fine. Eventually, we will be facing down the Reaper, who will be stealing my creatures by blighting them. I will name fairy here. It was in the autocomplete. And what I'm looking for is probably some counter magic. Yeah, Reaper King no more. Like, it is a very nice ability just built into it. But I would actually say that the thing that's more impressive about this card to me is that you can pod it. You can sacrifice it and turn it into something that costs more mana. And if you do that, you'll be getting some real big stuff. Okay, so I think Hexing Squelchers unfortunately gotta be my target here. This is removal, 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 and ramp. And this thing stops a lot of the cards in my deck. I have a lot of counter spells. I'm able to play spells off the top of my deck. Okay, so they just Nature's Claimed me. That's cool, I guess. I wonder if they'll Reaper King my Fairy Seer next turn. Yeah, you can turn this like 6 into a 7 drop because it is 6 mana. Nope, Terminus. Thanks to Yavimaya, I don't even have to sacrifice this. So I can use it to adjust the top of my deck. Okay, so I get a Bitter Triumph anyway. You could turn it into a Tolly. You could turn it into a Tolly, yes. You want to steal yet? Come on, there's crime to be done. Ew, tutors. Ew. I think they got a Cavernous Souls. Do you think that's what they were tutored for? Or do you think they're to tutor for the pod? Like an Eldritch Evolution? This single fairy is doing work? Yeah, she is! They're tootin'. A thought? They're seizing my thinks. I'll just let you drop this. Like, I know I could use it to bring this back. Like, use this to bring that back. But this way, like, I get this out this turn. Okay. Oh, Dismember. Again, I have very stealable cards for their guy. But I think I have to kill it in response to prevent the stealing. So I'll use the Dismember this turn. Would Aura not work in paper? Aura doesn't work in paper as written because you would need to know what type of card is on top of your deck. But you would just change the card to say, like... The card is... Oh, one sec, I gotta sacrifice that. You just say you can look at the top of your deck at any time, which does slightly change the power of the card. But I would say it's not, like, super meaningful. Whee! This way they don't get to steal it. I guess I probably could have just gone for the Surveil on that. Okay, Oura. Go, my fairy! But I feel like this card is extremely similar to Arrington Giada, and you could just change it to be Arrington Giada's wording. My one-drop fairy token, no! I assume they'll abrade Aura. Ow! I could use this to tutor, sure. What am I tutoring for? Because I wait until they did something. But I want like a fairy. What flashy fairies do I have? Ooh, a Byra! Ooh, a fairy mastermind. Oh, but it's so blightable. Ooh, but it's so fun. You know what? We're in Top Deck City. Come here. Where's Yuta? Boom. Sup? Just gonna show you what I have. I forgot this is an instant. Don't mind me. A lot of alchemy cards are paper possible, though. This is just one of them. Nice. Everybody gets Wither. And now if I were to block, they would be drawing cards. And stealing the creature. Ooh, like that! Oh, wait, but it's... Aw, doesn't actually steal it there. Lame. Nest of Scarabs. Slow that down. Draw me a card. What did I get? Land. Okay, that lets me play Oura. Nest of Scarabs. Anybody got -1/-1 counters? No. Yeah, their oodles of single target removal has done pretty well. Yeah, you could Terminus the Reaper King. So you would be able to, what, reanimate in the upkeep? What can you grab? Can only grab from your graveyard? Yeah, your graveyard. I'd grab the Squelcher. Making my hand very useless. This is not going to surprise anyone. But my deck wants to, you know, counter things. I'm being squelched. Ooh. And I can see the top of my deck. It's not a fairy or an instant. Here, I'm going to show them what I have. Check it out. It's Maha. And Mana Leak. Good game. Bringing back the Squelcher. Always a good move. Sorry, Reaper King. You don't get to steal it. Bing, bong, bong, bong. GG. Firelord Azula. Also a very flashy deck, but they'll be copying the spells that I cast at instant speed. I've got some kill spells, I've got a counter spell, and I've got some very nice tempo cards here with Enduring Curiosity and Talion. Nice, I like this start. Okay, yes. These Squelchers, they need to be stopped. I'll pay 5 life to kill the thing that stops a hefty amount of my deck, yes. I've already been done in by one of these. Ooh, hamburgers. Mana Leak. Usually I go for 3 or 4 with Talion. 2, 3, and 4 are all really good choices. Especially because Firelord Azula got that 4. I'm going to go for 4. You want to play Azula? I want to draw and make you lose life. Oh, Enduring Curiosity. That also works. I wonder why they did this here. I wonder if it's because they're like, if I cast it now, you can't counter it. Or I should say it is a lot less likely that you're able to counter it. Which, yes, that's true. They have fancy art Enduring Curiosity. draw. Got anything else with 4s on it? Bring out Oura. Protecting it with this miscalculation. Oh, well, I can't respond to that. That's sudden edict. Huh. Battalion, no! Yeah, I'm gonna risk this. Whee! Oh, a Thought Steal sprites. Little thinker stinker. Get him! Gain that life! Gonna cling. That's just card draw, right? Yeah. Go to attackers. Let's see what's underneath here. Ooh, Scorn Coven. I would actually like lands at some point here. Take 4. See what they get. Cracking over that fabled passage. They may be waiting to cast Azula until they have a haste enabler. Yeah, I sure did choose a bad day to play, like, a deck with instants in it. It's a thinky kind of day. We already found out you cannot use the adventures off the top of the deck. Lands, yeah, they're in there. Okay, fairy fencing, and I will drop the bearer. I'll cast this now, just because I can. I only got 1 up. A dive down? Do I care? Do I care? Not a lot, no. Double team! How about this? Hello? Lands? More lands! Yay! I've done it! I found a land. My kitty isn't as pretty as theirs. They have 3 cards in hand. Just 2 kitties. Having a little play date. Aw, good kitties. Arcane Signet! Alright. I'm gonna surveil. Let me see what's on top of my deck. Kind of want it to be a land. Oh, I could also Sanctuary, but I don't have triple islands yet. Yay, a land! Let me cast more spells. I get to draw twice, since I got 2 little weenies swinging in here. We draw, we draw. More lands. More lands! And a Force of Negation on the top. That's great for me. I'm being asked how many hay buys have I gone up against. I think just one. Yeah, I think just one today. All right, I wanted to bounce that back into their hand. I don't need to bargain. I can drop one of these lands to get an extra Pestermite. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Magic damp, you're gonna protect it? Okay. What if I tapped it? Does this untap? Wait. It does. I'll have to use the force of negation. Ignore me! I mean, if they don't have anything left in their hand to really copy, they'll have the cling. Whee! Oh, there's an epiphany on top. I think people know I just like clicking buttons too. Yay, my spells are resolving. Tap the signet. Sure. I untapped it by accident. I pressed spacebar and it asked if I wanted to untap. I guess that registered as yes. I thought the default for my opponent's thing would be, no. Oh, throats. I'm getting gophered. Azula still going back in their hand, and I have 6 in the air next turn. Do I have a way to make that 8? I don't have, like, a Byra or anything. Yeah, I gave them an extra mana. But, like, that's fine. We're good. Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Gets discounted based on the number of artifacts you have, and then brings artifacts back from the graveyard. She's one of many mono-blue artifact Paradox Engine commanders. You got your Emrys, you got your Urzas, you got them all. Chromatic Star, they can loop that every turn. Dismissal? She resolves. So what happens when your 3-drop actually costs 1. And they'll be able to bring back Spell Bomb or Star, and all of these work to do like semi-infinites once you have a couple mana rocks, like this. I can't even steal her, which is heartbreaking for me. We never got Tegwell in Arena. They didn't put the pre-con commander in. Halt cost. You thought. Yeah, that tells me how many artifacts I guess they have in their hand. I'm gonna try to bounce Emry here to slow down their recursion from the graveyard. Wait, I thought I was in end step. Was I not in end step? Oh, my bad. This is what I get for being tired, huh? I was in combat? Oh, it was holding because of her. I think people have probably caught on. I'm still a little eepy. Yeah. Very, very sleepy. Oh, they're bouncing. Okay, sure. Whee! Fairy. Tap. Tap. This one. They get to do that every turn. A servo. Stop it. We could save it for the potential, like, paradox engine this turn, but also just stop. Oh, one ring. That also works. No! Being protected. All right, let's see. You're not a fairy anymore, so I don't even care. Not part of the clave, and not part of the coven. I feel like I should be able to steal her. I got two more activations than they should have because I had mistimed. Again, that's on me. Oh, they're looking for artifacts. I wonder which one they got. Bring out Oura. Nightmare Sower. That gives me a way to kill this. Yoink. Sup? It's mine now. Unfortunately, I couldn't do these in the other order, because then I wouldn't have enough mana. Oh, well, we found the Paradox Engine. Alright, I will try to counter it. And, I can either go for bounce or draw. I will try to bounce Emry. They can still tap her right now to get the spell bomb back. Again, just trying to slow her down by a turn. Need like a 1-cost thing from the top. Or 2 and we don't surveil. Stop it. Yeah, they're able to just do it now, but at least they won't be able to tap and retap. I have their mana rock. And the 1 ring cost mana for them to use, but it's still, you know, annoying. Beep boop. Well, it's too late, but I'll still use it. Yeah, they'll be able to get a bunch of card draw this turn, and if they have any mana rocks in hand, they'll potentially just be able to go off. Hi, Paradox Engine. They can play Emry, untap that one Rang. Thankfully, it looks like no mana. They mill, they mill, they mill, they mill. And they can go infinite probably next turn. Yeah, I also wish this weren't legal in Brawl. Get this goddamn garbage out of here. It's so play... Yeah, because, like, if you make them play it out, it takes forever. Draw some cards. You know you wanna. Because that also lets me draw some cards, and I would really like some card draw, please, and thank you. Alright, let's see what we get. Good, now I have access to a counter spell. But they'll be able to continuously draw and draw and draw. So I'll have to get rid of Emry here. So they aren't able to recur this. This kills the Emry, but it means that they don't have access to the mana rock this turn, which is what I'm trying to stop. And it worked! Okay, cutting them off from the infinite card draw, infinite mana means that I get another turn and I win. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars, and no thank you to the plows that kept me up for most of the night and the fire alarm at 7 a.m. that woke me up in the morning. Very much a no-sleep kind of Brawl Stars, but I think I still navigated the deck well enough. I would also like to build this deck a second time because I think that it will be stronger if you actually move in more kill spells, things like Psychic Frog, the good stuff, over fairies. But fairies are more fun and they fit the deck more thematically. If you happen to build this as a non-fairies deck, let me know how it does for you, because even as a fairies deck, it did really well. I would say that this deck had a good win rate. Mostly mono blue tends to be pretty strong. And as you saw, like, I even fought my way through multiple hexing squelchers, which is kind of the enemy of this deck. I did my best to get around them, and I managed to. Using, you know, some of the various kill spells we happen to have. If you're looking for the deck list, you can find it in the description of the video. And if you'd like to suggest a commander, please let me know in the comments. Also, if there are any fairies you wish were in Arena, but just aren't yet, let me know in the comments. I think that this is the kind of card that you could absolutely proxy into paper. It is digital only. But you could just say, hey, you know what? Erranton Giada lets me look at the top of my deck at any time. So does Oura. And I think that that would be fine, especially if you have a deck built like mine, where there's only like 7 total cards that she can't see that aren't lands. And like half of those are modal double face cards. Like they are lands anyway. If you do that, great. It's another cool fairies commander, though we do have other fairy commanders like Talion, which is a little bit less flashy. And we also have the other one from the Wilds of Eldraine precon. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but that's another great Dimir Fairies deck. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.